Hello. Well, today is L for limitations. Now, we've spoken before about limiting beliefs, haven't we? So we don't need to talk about those because, as we now know, there is no such thing as a limiting belief because beliefs are just thoughts. So, what do you think holds you back? What limits you in your life? What are the limitations that you come up against? Now, we get limited by all sorts of things. We could be limited by our past. We could be limited by the things that people used to say to us. I may have mentioned before that when I was growing up, people used to say things like, oh, don't aim too high because you'll be disappointed. I never really got to that one. But of course, the things that people used to say were to keep you safe. They wanted to keep you safe. They didn't want you to go out of the so-called comfort zone and then get disappointed in life. But of course, there's no such thing as a comfort zone. All a comfort zone is the edge of your limitation. So what you think of as a comfort zone can also become a prison, can't it? And I don't want you to be in prison because the whole thing is about being free. And how about when we're limited by perception? We're limited by what we think other people might think about us. So we're afraid to go for what we want in case somebody tells us that, or, who are you to want that? Who are you to think you can have that? So we get limited by our own perception of what we believe other people are going to think about us. And that's a really sad limitation, isn't it? Because that means that we're always behaving and aiming to what we think other people think we should do rather than what we want. And I want you to be limitless. I want you to be able to see there are no limits to you. There are no limits to what you can have and want. So I don't want you to think about what other people might be thinking about you because one, it doesn't matter what they're thinking about you, and two, you don't know what they're thinking about you. You have no idea what they're thinking about you. So the other thing that limits us is imagining the consequences of what might happen. Oh no, if I try to do that, this might happen. So we project into the future and we imagine all the dire consequences that might happen when we fail. And then that keeps us trapped. That keeps us limited to what we know. We only want to do the things we know. We don't want to try and learn something new or do something new. There can be limits around our beliefs around lack of money or lack of talent. These things hold us back. We get limited by our own thoughts about what we can do, how much money we should have, how much money we can have, how much we can do in our life talent-wise. Can I have a business? Can I work with people? All of these things are just your own limitations. And when they show up for you, shine a light on them. Just notice them and think, oh, okay, really that old thought again. Because we do like what's familiar, even if what's familiar doesn't suit us anymore. So I want you to go beyond your own limits. Go beyond your own limits. Treat your limits as a blind spot, because a blind spot is just an area that you're not seeing things clearly. Okay? And as I say, you are limitless. That's such a wonderful feeling, isn't it? So to be free from your own limitations means that you have options everywhere. I always remember watching a Frank Skinner program years ago, and he said that he was warming an audience up before it was due to be filmed. The show was going to be filmed, and he said to somebody, okay, what's it like living here, the area he was filming in? And the man said, I hate it. And Frank Skinner said, well, why do you live here? And he said, the man looked really confused, and he said, well, because my house is here. And that's one of the kind of limitations I'm talking about. The limitation that you can only be where your house is. Couldn't possibly get a house in an area that you might like to live in because, after all, you live here. Often we don't see these things as limitations, but they are. And I don't want you, as I said earlier, I don't want you to be trapped by your limitations. I want you to be free of limitations, just to be free. Okay, bye-bye.